everybody. This is Liz coming to you today. And the first thing I want to say is do it scared. And that is a quote that I have been listening to over and over and over in my mind recently as I've challenged myself and continue to challenge myself in all areas of business and life. And if you are doing that and you're trying to put yourself out there, people may not know it all, but you have your own personal goals that you're setting for yourself, and you're scared and you feel like you're an imposter because you think that your goals are way too high to meet. Just do it, and do it scared. So a little bit about myself and why I would even come to a point in my life where quotes were so important. I remember being a small child and laying on my brother's bed when he was out for the day and just looking at his walls. And there would be little quotes along his walls on posters. And I never forgot those. And the main one was, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And there was another story I heard one time about a little boy who grew up to become a sailor. And no one, the parents or no one, had ever been in the Navy, sailors, any such thing. All three sons became sailors. And when somebody asked them when they were older, how in the world did they get inspired or want to do that for their career and for their life, all three of them said it's because in their bedroom there was a photo hung with three ships. And that is what they always remembered, and it impacted them from it being in their bedroom. So things that we have around us are an influence on us, and the things that we want to remember, we should keep around us. So for several years, I had little sticky note quotes all over my house. I would replace them sometimes. Every time I had a new quote, I would put it somewhere, and it would powerfully impact me. And you have to change them out once in a while, or they just become common to you. But I would put them everywhere. And one that I tell my team all the time is right outside, inside my front door as I would leave to every day. I had one that said, "You are always on stage, perform well." And that is true in every area of our lives. With our children, you're on stage. They're going to imitate what you say. When you're at work, somebody's always watching you. If you're leading teams, you're always being watched. And we might not remember paragraphs. We might not remember or be able to repeat the summary of an entire book, but some things in the book usually impact us. So I wanted to share a few quotes today that I have had over time. So when I was in a dark place in my life after my divorce, sometimes you just need something higher, better, people that are smarter, people that have been through a lot of things. And you need to listen to things that are way above yourself so that you can pull yourself out of that dark place. Because if you just sit there and wallow in self-pity and be a victim, you'll never, ever get out of that. And we've all talked to people who are at way older in their years and they still have grudges and they still have all this bitterness and stuff from things that have happened in their life. And I didn't want to be like that. So how do you change yourself? How do you turn around and go in another direction? How do you pull yourself out of a dark hole and succeed and become something else? Well, it happens if you, number one, take extreme ownership over yourself and every area and aspect of your life, and then make effort to change. And one of the things I did to make effort to change was I started to listen to podcasts and Audible books of people that were smarter than me, further ahead of me, people who had gone through things that were more difficult than I had and how they had overcome, how they had succeeded, people who invented things, people who ran businesses. And so I would listen to all leadership books, people that inspired me, people that were in different businesses and have led different teams, led bigger teams, and had done many things that I didn't know that I would ever be able to do. And just like the story of Steve Jobs, And we have calligraphy now. We have all the font in our computers. You know where that came from? Steve Jobs took one calligraphy course. And that's how we got all the fonts that we have today. So every single experience you have, every single bit of effort you put in will pay off later on. And as I was coming out of that deep place, and I thought, all this effort I'm putting into myself, how would it actually impact anyone else? And I thought, I have the opportunity, and I'm taking the opportunity that other people don't have time to do because I was now alone. And so I would get up in the morning and I would press play on one of these books or podcasts, and I would listen all the way up till I was with people. As soon as I left people, I listened all the way till I went to bed. Shopping, anywhere, whatever, I was listening. Didn't matter what I was doing. And you can get through a lot of books that fast. And if you listen to them at 1.5 speed, Jocko's super slow, so you can listen to him at 2 speed. But if you start to listen and devour and absorb these things, it will absolutely change you. And you'll become the person that you want to be, and more than you ever thought you could be. Because what happens is you don't realize that those things are just becoming a part of your being. And then later on, you'll just hear yourself speaking something out of those, a quote or something. So when I first began to do this, I would write in my phone. I would speak into my phone in the Note app. And let me show you what that looks like. So the Note app looks like this, here, there. And we all have it on our iPhones. And in there, I would have notes and quotes. And all of us have that app, and I would just talk them into it. So I would hear a quote, press pause, say my quote in there, click done, and it was in there. So this one that I'm going to share today is quotes number 5. So it's a grouping of 5. The first year, I think I put 4,000 quotes in my first compilation, and I could honestly write a book. And I would actually give cards to people, and I would just put quotes all over their cards, like for their birthday. And maybe I couldn't afford to give them a present, but I gave them quotes, and I would hear from them later that it was so impactful, more than a present, because they could keep reading the quotes over and over. So sometimes I would just hear of a book to read. So you hear that all the time. You listen to a podcast and there's a good book that you hear about. You just open your app and you put it in there. So I'm going to read you some of these. So when I would hear a story or a book, like I was saying, I would just put it in here. So the ones I threw on this list that day was 4-Hour Workweek, Checklist Manifesto, The One Thing by Gary Keller, Millionaire Real Estate Investor, Recession-Proof Real Estate Investments. So over and over, I would write this stuff down. And as soon as I was finished with one book, I would buy this next one, and I would just continue to listen. So I tried to listen to anything that would possibly affect what I do. So with our franchisees, we want them to be able to create generational wealth, and we want them to learn other things outside just their lawn care business. So we encourage them to learn about real estate. And so when we got into real estate, we bought properties. Mike bought properties, and I became the property manager. We took property management courses. We read every kind of real estate book, and we implemented what we read, him from the owner side and me from the property manager side. Then we added Airbnbs, and everything we do, we document, and so that we can be able to share that with somebody else. So all of our experiences, all the stuff we learn, just believe that it's not just meant for yourself. You can always share that with other people. So I'm going to read you a few quotes here, and you can write them in your Note app if you'd like, or you can just tuck them away and they can become a part of your everyday actions, activities. When I worked at the hospital for a while, we had a break room, and I was what was called a float. So a float would come in one night, and they would not know what floor they were going to be on until they got there, and then they would float to the other floors. So we had a float break room, and in there I would write a different quote all the time. They never knew who did it, but they would say thank you to whoever, like on the bottom of the thing, the quote board. Thank you to whoever's writing these. And no one ever knew till I quit, and then it was over. So here are a few. And from every book I'd read, a lot of them seemed similar. Then I would move on to the next book, and a lot of them would seem similar. A lot of leadership, Jocko, just self-improvement. So I didn't want to be a victim, and I wanted to pull myself out of this. So are you the author or the victim of your life? A system is a bridge to freedom. Apologizing is a skill. It can be learned and developed. Financial insanity is when opinions are used as facts. Learn from leaders, not advisors. Successful people walk towards the blazing guns. You don't have to be the smartest. You just have to have the smartest team. You will find fertile grass where there has been no stampede. A comfort does not happen for successful people. If it's to be, it's up to me. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Take ownership of your outcome. You ate the first domino. Think about that one a little bit. Your worst day is someone's dream. Habit makes the hard stuff easier. Things that matter most should never be at the mercy of what matters least. You can make excuses, or you can make things happen. The fight is not over when you fall down. It is over when you fail to get up. If you want to change the fruit, you must change the roots. Little decisions make way for big decisions pairing it. Good habits put money in your pocket. Bad habits take it out. Little money comes fast. Big money doesn't. You must acquire new skills and greater wisdom to keep moving forward. All great achievements are from sustained persistence over time. Your receipts are proof of your priorities. There is magic in mastering the minutia. Every visionary is ridiculed before they are revered. A goal without a plan is just a wish. At Entrepreneur. If you are the smartest person on your team is in trouble. Work brings profit. Talk brings poverty. For some to love you, others must loathe you. You can't calibrate world-class doing without world-class learning. I'll read that again. You can't calibrate world-class doing without world-class learning. A powerful mindset without a purified heart sets lead to an empty victory. Some of the greatest companies were created by damaged people. Your daily behavior mirrors your deepest beliefs. Criticism is the symptom of greatness. Master the rules so you can break them. A bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. Don't criticize what you don't understand. Don't be a card-carrying member of the status quo club. Quality input equals quality output. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Make small deposits in the bank of experience, education, and training. One day, the balance will be sufficient enough to make one large withdrawal. Let your default setting be excellent. The micro actions we take shape or shatter the big picture. We aren't perfect, but we have a good thing going. No one that ever gave their best regretted it. And this one's from the Bible. It's by his love I am sustained and daily overcoming. Success has history. Judge people by the quality of their work and the content of their character. Discomfort is the price of admission to a better life. Emotions are data, not directives. Leaders do the right thing, not the thing that's right for them. Be decisively engaged. Compassion comes from enormous strength. I can't break what's built to last. You grow into the person you are supposed to be. If you kill yourself, people will get hurt and dreams of others will die. Rehearse to the point of mastery. Be the difference that makes the difference. Caring levels the playing field. Be a student of people. Do the worst things first. Private victories come before public victories. Treat others how you would like to be treated. Have a sustainable, repeatable process. Sales is a team sport. We are a team of owners. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. You must have the right people on the right bus to achieve the right results. Find ways to give before you get. Normalize the discomfort. Your habits have no place to hide. Never place a period where God has placed a comma. Who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear a word you say. Find an excuse to win. Leaders are heat seekers, not heat barriers. You could behave yourself into mediocrity. Easy and comfortable is not the path to greatness. The path of continuous learning is effortful. Being great at anything is always a team sport in some sense. Consistency over a long period of time brings excellence. There are hard parts you do because you love the totality. You can win even if the opponent's your own way. You can win even if it's opposite of your own previous choices. I believe that. We can say what we say out loud will determine our next behavior. Stop saying stupid things out loud. It's what you do, not how you feel, that gets things done. We can do our way into getting things done. What is an idea? It's a commitment to execution. You are defined by the past unless you choose to live differently. Negative thinking works negatively 100% of the time. The bar should be set high and almost impossible. Success leaves clues. No stinking thinking, no complaining. Design your life in advance to get the life you want. Behave yourself into the person you want to be. Keep assessing yourself honestly so that you can stay self-aware as your life evolves. Life cannot deny itself to the man who gives his all. Making bad choices is the lifeblood of average. Do we have the luxury of choice if excellence is what we aspire to? Small choices are the decisions that matter. Get insanely good at key skills. You don't have to believe everything you're thinking. You can set yourself up for freedom or you can fail. Being good at your job affects every other area of your life. Direction, not intention, leads to destination. The vision is the view when you're standing on the summit. Focus on the important, not the urgent. Lead with a giving hand. Go from relationships to referrals. A lighthouse is most necessary in a storm. You can't change that of which you are not aware of. You can't bat 300 every day. The crowd loves a good loser. Everybody hates a quitter. Keep keeping on. The day is not bad unless you name it bad. To change, you gotta change. All action plans start with giving something up. Don't go back to comfort. Get great. All action, I'll say it again. All action plans start with giving something up. Don't get comfortable. Get great. The longer you fight the new beginning, the harder it will be. Lean into it. Don't tap out. If you aren't starting over, you died yesterday. New beginnings are non-negotiable. Don't take what you have for granted. It can be taken away tomorrow. Don't contract back and hunker down. That's not a word. Don't constrict back and hunker down. Persistent, massive action. Persistent, massive action. I love that. The unexamined life is not worth living. Live like you will die tomorrow. Carry on like you will live forever. You have to grind to shine. Mediocrity is a choice. Resign your position as general manager of the universe, meaning you think you're all that in a bag of chips. So resign your position as the general manager of the universe. Stay in front of the people you want to do business with. Your outreach determines your image. None of us is as smarter as all of us. It's always too soon to quit. Since you don't know what day you'll succeed, prepare for it every day. Would you buy from you? Sustainable credibility. Sustainable credibility. Good term. There's no upside to being a victim. Quality information will bring value to what you are doing. The quality of your relationships is the quality of your life. When I'm negative, I'm only retreating for a moment so I can be light again. There is nothing impossible with time. Taking what you are offered is how you belong. Exercise is an acquired pleasure. Wealth does not come from money. Wealth comes from what you put into other people's pockets. Preparation meets opportunity. The more you can, the more you should prepare. If you know the way broadly, you will see it in all things. Respond to every complaint, every channel, every time. Everyone is responsible. Everyone is responsible for the customer experience. Everyone is a teacher. Once you get through your diagnosis, this will be post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth. Don't you love that? Content never sleeps. Those who hold on to their boat mates will survive the storm. Your actions have direct impact on your outcome. Your actions have direct impact on your outcome. This is your steering zone to greatness. Dare to fail greatly. Make customers' information rich. It makes them better customers. Upgrade your attitude and actions. You aren't stepping out of your comfort zone. You are stepping into opportunity. If you don't show up, God can't help you. You can't learn if you don't show up. You can learn something from everybody. There is a freedom in learning to be alone. The power of a group is greater than the power of an individual. I will master my craft and be a tactical genius. When you have disciplined people, you don't need hierarchy. Greatness is a matter of conscious choice. Build relationship capital. Collect good people. Change the environment to create change. You become great long before the results show it. They will know, this is what I had written for my kids. They will know I'm your mom by the way you walk through the world. Set in the fire of pain. Sit in the fire of pain till a higher source comes within, and embrace the direction to change the cycle you're in. It's our loss that cause our greatness later. When you're going through tough times, this is sure hard to believe, isn't it? But it'll pull you out of that dark place. It's not the sound of your voice, it's the honesty of your voice. You are a living thing. You can run out of gas. Uncover all the places your partner is amazing in. Time is the most squandered human resource. You can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. Have a high level of respect for people and resources. Store up relationship capital. Build a community of racing ambassadors. Beware of those who comment from the stands but haven't played on the field. Money is a byproduct of excellence. Play the game of work with passion. Let others help you triangulate. You are only 10,000 hours away from the prize. Be your own agent. Rumors grow where there is lack of information. No pride is built on easy wins. You can never depend on what you've achieved in the past. You must continue to improve. You can't think things better. Take action. Self-audit. In a world of compromise, some won't. You can't read the label when you're locked in the box. If you want to do something you've never done, you need to become someone you've never been. Unless you are next to me and bloodied in battle, you don't have an opinion. Live a life that will outlive you. Stop judging yourself through the lenses of the moment. Be ashamed to die until you have made a valuable contribution to mankind. A good leader doesn't handle his men. He handles himself. Be governed by something more powerful than fear. It's in our brokenness we find what is possible. A successful leader never assigns tasks blindly when he can reveal their larger purpose. So the men understand the nature of whole in which they are contributing. Praise is more effective than blame. A man wants to amount for something. Don't give less than everything you've got. Avoid unnecessary links in your training. Training makes the soldier. In the absence of love and belonging is suffering. The more confident you are, the faster you will go. Weed slows down and makes you feel fearful. Weed slows you down and makes you fearful. Being dangerous is more safe than being careful. Work, help people, stash cash. You hate your job because you're thinking too small. Die to the past every moment. You don't need it. Find the life in your lifestyle situation. Change without waiting for an emergency. If it's valuable, people will pay you for it. We wise learn from our mistakes. The ignorant wait till they hit bottom. Pay the price this year. What are you going to change? Prejudging is the kiss of death. Turn controlled anger into energy. The last dollar you spend to improve your product is the most important dollar. Stress is what brings you to life. Let it motivate it. Use it. Don't run from it. Walk through the discomfort. You'll survive. Then go back for more. Undeniable gifts are buried under all that pressure. Not everyone gets the opportunity to be stressed by the potential to achieve great things. That is so true. Love makes possible the miraculous. Believe the stage once you on it. Believe the stage once you on it. If you bring me into any situation, I am going to have a positive impact on it. A professional doesn't let the team down because of personal issues. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. In order to have what you want, you need to be who you really are. Great teams lose when their leader doesn't show up. Tell yourself what to do and stop waiting for others to lay it all out. Complete focus for complete results. The only difference between feedback and criticism is the way you hear it. Love the results so much, the work is irrelevant. Talents and intelligence are not fixed traits. Get rid of small talk. Go straight to the heart of the matter. High performers are not lonely at the top because they are generous to people as they rise. High performers don't burn relationships. They don't take people for granted. They know there are two ways to exert energy, pushing down or pulling up. High performers are the pulling up kind. High performance means you succeed beyond standard norms for long periods of time while maintaining well-being and positive relationships. Earn your next breath. Don't be overcome by perceived threats. Every facet of my beauty is a story of amazing grace. It's only impossible until it's been done once. Find the beauty in the monotony. Heroic movement is a failure in planning. Don't fall in love with your plan. It's most certainly wrong. Observe, orient, decide, act. Don't be a parrot. Learn it for yourself. Believe it yourself. God can restore what you cannot. When there seems to be no way. You haven't lived in their home. You haven't walked in their shoes. You can't make your own dreams come true till you make someone else's come true. The larger part of your suffering is due to your mind's toxic commentary of your life's circumstances. Live for people wholeheartedly, expecting nothing in return. Go out into the wilderness and learn your craft. Then bring it back to the tribe. The money is not guaranteed. The struggle is. Love the process. Have a global view of the end result. The game will keep you going. Deeply commit to doing good work. Results come in proportion to the enthusiasm applied. The average person would rather talk about themselves than anyone else in the world. Listen, the person in the conversation who does the most of the talking is rarely the most successful in the conversation. To become enthusiastic, study the subject you are unenthusiastic about. Say you feel wonderful at every opportunity. Look at things not as they are, but what they could be. Praise, sincerely administered, is a success tool. No one ever does anything worthwhile in which he will not be criticized. Sell yourself to yourself. Use action to cure fear and gain confidence. Success is measured by the size of your thinking. It isn't experience that sets up top performers apart, but the amount of deliberate practice they put in. Growth comes at the point of resistance. Skills are developed in struggle. If you can do it in 5 minutes or less, do it now. The person who hosts the party has the leverage. We fear what we don't understand. You can't try to do things, you must do them. Goliath loses to David every day of the week if David acts like David. Winners don't have time to judge others. Whoever brings the most value always wins. Be the leader you want to follow. When the troops are in survival mode, it's hard to build a cohesive fighting team. You are the exact result of your choices. Have you eaten too many donuts today? You are the exact result of your choices. Great results come from great imbalances. If you want it bad enough, you won't fail. Doing what you hate can beautifully lead to doing what you love. Permanent balanced mediocrity or temporary unbalanced exceptionalism. Choose. Not choosing your path leaves you a victim of circumstance. You are paid in direct proportion to the problems you solve. It's a long game. Delusional beliefs cause erroneous actions. Change your head, change your results. Move forward down the path aggressively towards victory. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. You might not be the sharpest pencil in the box. Don't worry. There are plenty of There are plenty of pencil sharpeners around to fix that. There are two kinds of people in the world, takers and givers. Which are you? We will selflessly serve the selfish. Are you willing to do the deep, hard, gut-wrenching work on yourself in private to become a person of excellence? Teams need psychological safety. Are you placing irrational relevance on your wants? You'll never get rewarded for doing what is easy for you. There are leaders who transformed the people around them. As soon as you can, hire out what you hate. Think, prioritize, delegate, let it go. Failure is honest feedback. The more experience you have in life, the more you can offer others. A war is lost by indecision. Stationary, we don't get any answers. Answers are the reward for doing things. Having the act of giving be the gift itself. Have the act of giving be the gift itself. Be good to God. Give more value than you take. When you stop to thank God for today, would you have thanked him for yesterday? Your demographic is keeping everyone alive. No, your demographic is everyone alive. Ooh, that's a lot of ownership. Don't have time? Don't get results. Work hard to get better. It has real world value. A fixed mindset is its own punishment. You may be victimized, but you don't have to be a victim. Always be open to being wrong. Find something to die for and live for it. If you have the right attitude, you can still look at a horrible situation and call it lucky. Life is short and it is precious. Don't wait to be the person you want to be. I love this one. Failure is a tattoo. No. Failure is a bruise. Failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. Failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. Isn't that awesome? The potential of the human body is immense. Your mind, it will conform your behavior to what you're feeding on. Elevate your own rules as a life form. No one is a super fan of anything that doesn't make them feel good. Deliberate practice explains excellence. Stop. Focus on one thing and make it as beautiful as possible. If you hesitate, that's when you get hurt. In the absence of facts, people make up their own. A good decision takes precision. Working right trumps the right work. And that's the entire list of I had written for several books I had listened to. There's one just a little bit above, and it is really a good one. Wow, there's so many good ones. But I would say stop, focus on one thing, and make it as beautiful as possible. There are so many incredible quotes here, and they're from many, many books. And you haven't had time to listen to the books. I took the time to listen to the books so that I could read you 100 quotes today. Definitely 100 quotes. So if you rewind this, if you grab one quote of this, it's worth my time today. Many of these quotes I've written on the board for my team. They've never forgotten them. I've never forgotten them. And they're still a fiber of what I am today. They've made me the leader that I am. They've just become a substance of me. And that is how I behave myself into greatness, behave myself into a leader, behave myself into the person I want to be. And that's one of the quotes I read to you. So to finalize, the very beginning, I said, do it scared. So you've got to do all this stuff. You've got to take extreme ownership. You've got to do the hard things. And that's the word, hard. So if necessary, do it scared. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this has been helpful to you.